Stop. Thank you. How's it going, guys? Alright, so as you know, I've been, really busy with, Dead by Daylight, and just recently I did a big round of Golf It with Brendo JR. Lot of fun, by the way. That guy's a lot of fun to play with. we had a blast. So yeah, because of that, I've been kind of lagging a bit behind on my episodes of the Paranormal Man. And so what I thought I'd do today is do a live stream of the current videos that are out from Nuke's Top 5, Chill's, Sir Spook's, and Top 15s that I haven't seen yet. Now, keep in mind, I have seen, there are some videos out there that I have watched and that I have recorded, but I haven't uploaded yet. Those will not be featured on this. It's just the episodes that I have not yet. It's just the videos I have not yet watched, and there are 7 of them. So if you got a couple hours to waste, welcome to the stream. And and also as a recent commenter pointed out, I sniffle a lot, and I want to try to keep that as limited as possible. So yes, Lorraine Haynes, I blew my nose. So with that said, welcome to my Paranormal Man live stream. We got 7 videos to watch, and the first one is from Nuke's Top 5. I can't believe I forgot to do this before the stream started, but as soon as the stream is over, I will leave the links to all 4 of these channels in the description below, because these are some fun channels to watch. It's pretty much just nightmare fuel. So it's a lot of fun. So got my water, got you watching. Let's go.
Top 5 scariest things caught on doorbell cameras. A cry for help. This video was posted by Reddit user Unknown Truth. He says that his friend's wife had a very odd experience one day as she walked outside to do the laundry. The incident was caught on their Ring doorbell camera. The woman hears some strange noise, and it's not coming from the Ring camera speaker. In fact, the eerie moaning seems to be coming right out of the bare wall beside her. Now, I boosted the audio on this clip and, well, just take a listen. Some strange voice in the wall seems to be crying out for help. The woman is so freaked out that she actually goes inside and calls the police.
I looked around, I didn't see anybody out on the road or any cars or anything. So I went back to my Ring video to make sure I wasn't just creatively hearing something.
I can hear somebody saying something, but I can't.
Well, I posted it on there.
The police search the premises, but there's no one there. So just what is this strange disembodied voice that seems to be begging for help?
It's so weird.
Let me know what you think down in the comments. No treat. The thought of Halloween sparks images of happy children dressed in costumes rushing from door to door to collect as much candy as they can. But this next video didn't take place on Halloween. It happened in the middle of a sweltering summer day in August in San Antonio, Texas.
Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Thank you, sweet cat. Falling from the cinema. It's a sea land. Lucky truck.
Of course, I'm pretty crazy too watching these live.
The bizarre masked man says, "Trick or treat, smell my feet." Then he seems to get distracted by his own feet. And then he just seems to wander off in a confused state. Now, one has to wonder if the man had been having some special treats of his own. Surprise visit. On a warm sunny day in May, Gerald Haywood was visiting a friend's home in Lawton, Oklahoma. Now, in accordance with YouTube's family-friendly content guidelines, let me say in advance that no one was seriously hurt in this clip. But I'll explain that later.
Ow! Kurt, take me to the hospital! Take me to the hospital! Get that safe. Get that safe. Where? At your mailbox. Right there. No, I'm not.
Turns out that there's a 6-foot-long snake wrapped around the porch light. When Gerald opens the door, the snake strikes just above his right eye. Luckily, the snake is not venomous and the bite above his eye isn't deep. Gerald was rushed to the hospital but didn't require anything more than a couple of band-aids and some light antibiotics.
Still, that's gotta be scary.
I have to admit, the first time I watched this video, I thought it was horrific. And the second time, I thought it was hilarious. So, I'm sorry, Gerald.
Ow!
Yo, okay, knowing that he didn't get hurt, yeah, you can laugh at the reaction, but still, initially, that had to have been horrifying. Me, I love snakes. I grew up with snakes. I don't. Same with rats. I grew up with rats, grew up with snakes, so I'm not really afraid of them. But I get why people would be afraid of them. Because especially with the rats. We need to domesticate rats and have them as pets. You can't really help but just adore the fuzzy little critter that's on the top of your head, just laying there chilling, minding it, just thinking nothing of it. I love it, man. I love it. Any kind of rat up here, or any kind of domesticated rat, just on my head, just too adorable.
Kurt, take me to the hospital! Take me to the hospital! Get that safe. Get that safe. Where? At your mailbox. Right there. No, I'm not.
Ghost caught on doorbell. YouTube user LexusJV claims that he caught a ghost on his Ring doorbell camera. At 4:23 in the morning, he got an alert that his camera had sensed motion. When he first reviewed the tape, he just noticed this, which just appears to be a spider web moving in the wind. But then, when he looked closer, he noticed this. It looks almost as if some shapeless white face is pressed to the window for a closer look inside. The Ring camera, sensing no more motion, just shuts off. And it didn't turn back on again for the rest of the night. So is this a ghost in the window, or just a trick of the light? In another alleged ghost Ring video, YouTuber Vengeance Gaming posted a video saying that he thought his Ring doorbell had picked up a ghost.
Kind of premature to call that first one a ghost. Could have been just a piece of paper that got caught in the wind. that's a little creepy.
We see what looks like a woman dressed all in white who seems to walk out of the darkness from somewhere near the house. And then she just sort of walks off into the dark. Vengeance Gaming, who by the way has never posted another paranormal video on his channel, suggests that it could be, quote, the lady in white. But it could also simply just be a prank. You decide. One night. Late one night, an older woman named Kathleen hears something outside her Bristol, Connecticut home. Cautious about opening the door to a stranger, she looks outside and sees someone in a car parked just across the street from her house. She yells from a window,
"Can I help you?" The second time I yelled it, he took off without lights on and then went flying up the other street.
When Kathleen checks her Ring doorbell camera, her blood runs cold.
Why so serious?
It looks like a scene right out of a Purge movie, and the potential intruder definitely seems to have meant Kathleen harm.
Watch how he wipes off the door handle, and he's got something heavy in his pocket.
Kathleen contacted the police, but the mysterious man in the smiling mask has never been found.
Oh, that's a mask?
It's not all bad. After all the weird and scary things that I've counted down in this list, it might seem like doorbell cameras only record frightening things and the absolute worst of human nature. So I wanted to include one last bonus story that might at least slightly restore your faith in humanity. Katie Egermacris was leaving in a rush one morning from her Washington, D.C. home and forgot to zip her purse. Her wallet fell out somewhere along her way to work. She certainly never expected to see it again. But when she got home, she found this on her doorbell camera.
That's cool.
The man who had found her wallet had checked her ID to find her address, and then had even delivered her wallet right to her door. He tries to put it in her mailbox, but it won't fit, so he hides it safely under the mat. Katie says that all of her credit cards were there, and not even a single dollar was missing.
That's cool.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to submit or suggest a video, contact me at nukestop5@gmail.com. And please follow me on Twitter at nukestop5 for videos and other things. I don't know, something.
Beautiful, beautiful outro there. Beautiful outro there. Alright, next up we got 13 ghosts videos that you will never forget from Chills.
You will never forget these ghost videos, and neither will the unlucky people that were unfortunate enough to witness them in person. Number 13. A janitor is closing up a restaurant in San Francisco called The Chapel, which is said to be haunted by the ghost of a small girl. As soon as he is done locking the door, something tries to leave and then runs away. If she was afraid of getting locked in, why didn't she bang on the door to be let out? Also, how come she didn't say anything when all of the lights turned off? On the contrary, if this was instead a real person trying to sneak in, then she probably wouldn't immediately try to open the door because it could set off an alarm. I guess she could just be making sure the janitor really is leaving. But since this restaurant is said to be haunted by the ghost of a small girl, I believe this could be her. Number 12. Phil Sinclair's Paranormal Investigations is taking a look at one of Britain's most haunted roads, the Stocksbridge Bypass, when something passes by his right shoulder.
Who am I talking to?
This could be a crew member, but Phil Sinclair doesn't seem to think so, and some of the commenters have noticed this pale figure over his right shoulder seems to briefly change shape. I'm not sure about that, but I do think they definitely look like they are running away, which is weird considering everyone else is standing completely still. Number 11. This popular chain restaurant in a children's hospital is said to be haunted, and I need your help to tell if this is real or not. A small transparent girl runs by, but something is a little off about the video, and it looks like it might be photoshopped. If any video editing experts can tell me if this ghost sighting is fake or real, I could definitely use your help. Number 10. A YouTuber
fake.
named Tracy Slaughter and her family hear a disturbance at the top of the...
It looked like a still image being swooped across the image, the camera. I'm tired.
Steps, and they grab the camera to record what they are seeing for proof. It starts out very hard to see at first, but soon a pale white outline slowly appears against the wall. The head becomes visible in the very center of the room where the two wall patterns meet.
I didn't say lights.
Oh
You didn't say lights. Did you say go across? The light go across the top of the landing.
If you still don't see it, don't feel bad. The next part is much more obvious. Keep looking at the center of the stairway to see it.
It's only just gone across the top of the landing, and that's moving.
Did you ever see it?
Oh,
A being of pure white energy rushes down the steps and heads straight at them. If you play it in slow motion, you can see something actually comes around the corner and charges down the steps at them, sending everyone scattering. I guess this could be special effects, but I would like to get your opinion. The way everyone screams at the exact same time with true panic in their voices makes me think it could be real, in which case I'm glad they got out of there fast. If it was rushing forward to possess one of them, then I truly hope it does not succeed. Number 9. This YouTuber is recording the wall of his school when an all-white face peeks out from around the corner. When he goes to investigate, the supposed spirit is completely gone. The spirit itself looks very blurry and is probably CGI, although I could very well be wrong. Maybe someone with more knowledge on special effects could give me more info. Number 8. This old VHS tape of a girl dancing is definitely paranormal, at least if you believe what the uploader Sharon Bailey has to say. First, an orb floats up towards the child between the 13 and 14 second mark. Shortly afterwards, a strange mist fills the air. Maybe it's something else, but I'm not sure because it seems to specifically wrap itself around the child. The last part is what has Sharon convinced that this is paranormal. She says that there were no other children in the house, but 31 seconds into the video, another little girl runs by at full speed. Her footsteps don't make a single sound. Take a listen. The camera was picking up little coughs and other background noise, so it definitely should have recorded running footsteps. Also, neither the dancing girl nor the dog seem to notice anyone is running straight towards them. Number 7. This New Orleans restaurant called Tableau's is thought to be haunted by a ghost who will punish you for what it perceives as any bad beverage selections. Here a waiter is preparing the room for a private party and has finished stocking the refreshments when, coincidentally, the bottles all fly off the shelf and land in the exact area he had just finished sweeping. 3 separate comments in this video further verify that this restaurant is quite haunted. One person said the window in this very same room unlatched itself, another said the fire alarm went off on its own, and a third person said they are never going there again because the spirit was staring at them.
Wow.
These comments, combined with this video evidence, is enough to build a strong case for the paranormal in my opinion, but let me know what you think. Number 6. This home security video shows 2 bright orbs hovering over some bikes in Carolina Beecher's front yard. She watches in silent amazement as the lights remain fixed in place, close to where you would grab the handlebars. The only explanation I have besides spirits is perhaps a dual reflection of the car's brake lights. That still doesn't explain how they float all around though, while the car lights remain stationary. At times the lights even seem to join together and become one. Number 5. This video shows a concerned sister checking in on her sleeping sibling. I'm not sure why she would be holding a camera to do so, but I guess she wanted to record the moment. A girl she has never seen before is hovering over her sister's bed without saying a word, and when she turns to leave to get help, the ghostly child teleports in the doorway to block her.
Lee, you alright?
The girl standing in the door does look like the same girl who was just standing by the bed. They are wearing the same outfit and have the exact same hair length and color, so I guess it's possible that this was a spirit. Then again, if this was staged, then maybe there was a second girl who was standing in the doorway the whole time to make it look like they teleported. Number 4.
Either way, it's a
this
good video.
restaurant is said to have a spirit who refuses to resign from their position even in the afterlife. Late at night, a phantom white image is caught hovering above tables, presumably to take orders and refill drinks. At the 42-second mark, it looks like it turns and extends an arm to put down a check or wipe off a table before abruptly flying away. Number 3. A YouTuber named Lawrence Ryan takes off his shirt and throws it over a shelf. A while later, he returns to the area and now finds the discarded piece of laundry has somehow shifted into a face. This shift continues before his very eyes until Lawrence grabs a camera to document the paranormal event. The shirt takes the appearance of a grinning demonic face who is looking down and to the left. If you don't see it yet, you soon will. The transformation is not yet fully complete. The camera goes out of focus very briefly as Lawrence struggles to zoom in while walking closer. And when the camera corrects itself and comes back into play, the face is changed again. Pause at 1 minute and 47 seconds into the video, and you will see it now has a very deep, ceased brow, a sharp, angular nose, and a strange expression that looks like a cross between...
I have an issue with this one. If you look closely at the rim, wait, I turn off the mouse. But if you look at the rim, like right above the eyes, you can see that the color kind of fades out over here where it shouldn't be fading out, and then it goes back to its original color, which pretty much tells me that part right there was photoshopped.
a frown and a smirk. I really don't see how any of this is possible, but then again, if it's fake, then I don't know how they did it either. The shirt is hanging from a shelf and should not hold any form at all. If they tried to somehow fold it into the shape of a face, I don't think it would stay like that for long. Number 2. This paranormal investigation takes place in an abandoned building in Indonesia. I can't tell what is being said, but you don't need words to tell this person is being relentlessly stalked by something not of this world. First they play some kind of song which I think is meant to summon spirits. A short while later, a shadow person peeks around the corner and appears where his thumb is. If somebody could please translate what is being said here, then maybe it could help us piece together what this video is all about. I don't think he noticed anything at first, but this is the exact moment he sees the spirit. Again, please translate if you can, and tell me if you think he sounds sincere or if he is acting.
Itu settingan bukannya? Gimana kalau coba?
The way he turns and bolts without saying a word is very realistic, so I'm inclined to believe this is not a joke. And when he looks again, the ghost is up way high in the left corner.
Hoy, Jacob! Hoy! Anjing! Goblok kaget!
I think he is losing his mind at this point and he squats in the corner to hide.
He thinks he is safe, but the door opens and closes by itself, and a strange mist floats up towards the knob. He runs away and stops to look around, panting, completely out of breath and scared senseless. This faint moan before the video ends makes me think he did not make it out alive. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. YouTube every Thursday and Saturday. Number 1. A YouTuber named Yankee Reb travels to the haunted battlefield of Gettysburg, Virginia, and stands before an old battle cannon. He grows very still and records nothing but darkness for a full 20 minutes before any paranormal activity occurs. As the night progresses, a lone soldier silently marches around the cannon and stops just outside of the muzzle, which is where you would stand to reload it.
Holy down by the cannon, you see that?
Oh, what is that?
I say it could be a soldier because, aside from the historic location, I can also kind of make out the old style sash and hat that some soldiers used to wear.
This in one of Nick's top
What
5
is that?
videos recently.
I have no idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
His attire is most visible at around the 1 minute and 58 second mark, so that's when you can get the clearest and most direct look for yourself. Let me know if you can see what he has on.
Did you, honestly?
I wouldn't believe it unless we recorded it.
Maybe this soldier in particular was accidentally taken out by his own cannon while reloading, which used to happen quite often back those times. Anxiety is our first natural reaction to a perceived threat, and the
Yeah. I'm trying to think of that word. Confederate. I think that was a Confederate soldier. Because it looked like the outfit he was wearing was the gray uniform. Alright, next one we got 5 creepy videos found on Reddit. Another... Oh, this one's from Sir Spooks. Let's go.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spook, and today we'll take a look at 5 creepy videos found on Reddit. Most of these are pretty recent, so I obviously can't be sure if you've seen them before. But nevertheless, let's begin. Two weeks ago, a video was uploaded to the Ghost subreddit, and the video allegedly shows a 2-year-old boy's legs being pulled by a ghost, while he was sleeping in his crib. Take a look.
Kind of creepy. Man, I have a 2-year-old daughter sleeping right now, man. This is heartbreaking for me.
Many say it's some of the best evidence they've seen on the subreddit, while others are skeptical, saying that this might just be the boy making those movements by himself. He could perhaps just be stretching his legs out. I even saw a commenter say that he now believes in ghosts. It isn't entirely convincing to...
Okay, now, if you have a 2-year-old, or if you've ever had a 2-year-old, you know that explanation of them just moving or stretching, making those movements by themselves, or just stretching their legs out, is utter BS. 2-year-olds, they can't make those movements themselves without waking up. So if this was that 2-year-old, making those movements by himself, it would have alerted him and would have woken him up. And we would be able to see that in the video. So I'm not buying that he did it himself. Now, but however, I will say it is possible, and as sick as this may be to think about, it's the parents that are moving his legs like that themselves, and just editing themselves out in the replay. It's a disturbing thought to think about too, but it's possible because some people would do sick. I'm just gonna say sick shit like that for views and attention. They would exploit their own children for that, and it's disgraceful.
To me, however, as it could just be the boy moving that way while sleeping. But I'm not saying it couldn't be something paranormal. Many creepy videos have been caught on baby monitors, so maybe this is just one of many true ghost sightings caught in babies' rooms. Now, this video was originally posted to TikTok, but it did come to my attention through Reddit, as someone on the Skinwalker subreddit believed this video could have been the sound of a skinwalker, or perhaps a Wendigo. It was recorded by a user known as the Hillbillies.
Dude, I just let the dogs out and this shit's happening again. Dude, what? Huh. Oh yeah.
It's that yodeling kid from Walmart. Sorry, I'm just reading one of the comments from Countrywide American.
Listen to that. What? I don't know. Dude, why do you think I brought him in the house and run out here? Listen to that. Dude, get him in the house. Get him in the house. Get him in the house.
Since it was uploaded, it has received 318,000 likes, as well as over 11,000 comments. Some say it's a wolf, some say it's a panther, but many people believe it to be something much more supernatural. What do you guys think? Could this just be a normal animal, or was it perhaps a Wendigo? This video was uploaded about 10 days ago to the Ghost subreddit. The title states the following, quote, "Listen when I'm on the stairs. You'll hear someone say, 'Hey,' but I was completely alone, so I don't know who it was. I stop and listen in the video too, because I heard it with my own ears. And I was looking around to see if I could find anyone, but I couldn't. So I got scared and kept going." End quote. Someone asked why he was filming himself going down the stairs, to which he made a strange reply that concluded with him just saying he felt like filming it. Apparently there was a power outage that knocked out the elevator, so he decided to go upstairs to see if anyone needed help. But that doesn't really explain him filming it. Nevertheless, the supposed EVP definitely sounds like someone saying "hey." Whether it was another person hiding, or truly a ghost, is of course unknown. It all comes down to what you believe.
I'm calling fake on that. That could have just been him going, "Hey."
This video was only uploaded a day ago, and it shows a guy going up an elevator. At some point when he gets out again, a strange voice can be heard in the background. It sounds like it's saying "help them." Listen carefully.
That's one of those old-fashioned elevators.
That was scary. I was expecting... Yeah, stink in there.
I heard that too.
Did you catch it? Listen again.
Stink in there.
It definitely sounds like a person whispering the words, "help them." But could it have been an object in the background making sounds that somehow sounded similar to a person's voice? Either way, it's a very creepy video and makes you wonder who this man is supposed to help. Maybe a ghost is haunting the building and trying to get people to help someone. Let me know if you guys think this is a ghost or something much more natural. Last year, a guy named Emmett Barringer posted a scary story that he'd encountered after moving into a 2-bedroom unit. Soon after moving in, he heard noises coming from the bedroom, which was vacant. He was afraid there was a person there. The sound was a droning electronic-sounding hum. He twisted the knob and kicked the door in. This is what he described, quote, "The windows were all closed and locked. Nobody was in there, and the sound was instantly gone upon cracking the door open. But my stomach jumped to my throat in the grim discovery of what was on the floor. There was a severed thumb, wet blood on the fleshy pulp protruding from the clean slice. I nearly vomited, backing out as horror flooded my mind. I returned to take a few photos and a video of the thumb, careful to not touch it." End quote. The video is quite graphic, so I can't show much of that one, if any of it, but I'll of course leave a link to the full post in the description. He had no idea how anyone could have entered the room. He called the police, and even though they investigated the apartment, they found nothing else out of the ordinary. They simply suggested that he changed his locks. The same thing happened some days later, and this time he filmed his encounter. Take a look.
Oh, I saw this video before. Well, at least when I saw it, they didn't show the part of him entering the room, so at least on the video I saw, so this time it's a phone.
He went through the phone to search for clues as to what was going on. He described the following, quote, "There were no photos, but there were 2 videos, which I watched in revulsion and horror. The first showed some fleshy mass that almost resembled a face devoid of eyes behind transparent plastic, gnashing teeth, or moving in frantic bursts as that awful sound screamed. The second clip is the second bedroom door opening from the inside, aiming towards my room with my bedroom door open. The most unsettling thing about the second part of the clip is that out of habit, I only leave my bedroom door open when I'm there." End quote. Take a look at the disturbing video we found. Even if this were to be fictional, it's still a truly creepy story, and the accompanying clips just help to heighten it from most other creepy stories out there. You can read the fully detailed story by following the link in the description. And that was 5 creepy videos found on Reddit.
Reddit, man, that's some crazy stuff. Alright, moving on. We're now at the top 15 videos that'll give you a nightmare from top 15. Okay.
Number 15, Zombie Bus. Would you take something that turned you into a zombie? Please don't do it because it's a horrible idea.
Sorry, that's,
Number 15, Zombie Bus. Would you take something that turned you into a zombie? Please don't do it because it's a horrible idea. In October of 2017, a number of sightings were reported in Brazil in which humans were behaving monstrously, with some running their heads into windshields and others flailing their arms and screaming nonsense as if they were possessed. This video clip shows what a nightmare this can be.
Come on, here.
He pounds the windshield as well before taking a running start at it with his head. With his arms outstretched, the boy screams into the ethers, while one guy outside holds an arm out, seemingly trying to calm him. The boy continues to scream in place before trying to smash his way into the bus again. This goes on for several minutes. Whatever this man has taken to be acting this way, just remember, it's never a good idea to do the same.
No,
Number 14, humanoid outside. Here's a freaky sighting. Imagine you're playing guitar with your friends when something decides to pay a visit. Published by Navigon in November of 2007, this creepy video shows some dudes practicing in a bedroom. One is playing the guitar, the other is singing, and the third is recording the session. But as it turns out, there's a fourth uninvited guest nearby. As they continue to play, the friend filming the session takes a broader shot of the singer, and towering in the doorway behind him is a seemingly tall man, standing sentry and staring into the room. In the comments of this video, David F.E. writes, "It's a humanoid being about 7 feet tall, not a ghost. Many people have reported them before." Whatever the case, in the moment, the friend filming doesn't spot the humanoid. The three continue their session without any reaction, and the next time the cameraman pans over, the figure is gone. They must have spotted the humanoid later in the playback, a humanoid that was so close he could have touched them. What would you do if you saw this over your friend's shoulder? Number 13, Squatter Hotel. Exploring abandoned places is supposed to be an adventure, but it can also lead to some unexpected encounters. YouTube channel Explore Abandoned Places with Tattooed Tony Alton published this video in October of 2016, writing, "We ran into 4 very strange people and were surprised while exploring. 2 that I got really bad vibes from. They seem like they may be wanted and running from the police. The school does look pretty creepy from the outside, and when you enter, the eeriness heightens. The place looks like a haunted house, graffiti lining the walls, broken windows, loads of decay and rubble on the ground." Early on in the video, Tony notes that this guy wouldn't stay out of his camera shots. About 20 minutes into the video, Tony comes across 4 men and quickly turns the camera away from them, so they don't grow angry or suspicious of his motives. While the entire encounter isn't shown, at the end of the video, Tony describes the men and explains what happened off camera. He says that 2 looked harmless, one was an old man, pockmarked and crazy, and the last guy was younger, shifty and acting strange. 2 of the dudes kept inviting Tony downstairs to see some cool stuff, but he got a bad vibe from them and was worried about getting his equipment taken. The weirdest thing was one offered to babysit his kids whenever Tony wants to go exploring. More than a little creepy. Number 12. Haunted Barracks. Have you ever filmed a video for your significant other, only to see something paranormal happen behind you? This video appears to show a military man sending a message to his girlfriend or wife, a woman named Trish, telling her he wishes he could be home with her. That's not the scary part, obviously. What's scary is what happens in the background. As he's filming his loving message, what appears to be a sweatshirt on the bed behind him moves of its own accord, and it's not just a small twitch. It's like someone is temporarily inside the sweatshirt. The movement is enough to catch the guy's attention. He looks over his shoulder, but that's when the fear is maxed out within him.
Trish, I love you. I wish I could be home with you too. I know we...
As the cupboard doors beside him burst aggressively open, the man, plainly disturbed by this strange occurrence, gets up and looks around the cupboard and inside before fleeing the scene. Once he's left, one of the cupboard doors swings nearly closed. What is happening here? What is haunting this room? The ghost of a forgotten trooper? With just this video footage, I guess we'll never know. Number 11, Hag-like mask. We've all seen reflections in the window at night, but maybe none as creepy as what YouTuber Mystic Paranormal found in his car window. Mystic published this video in August 2017, writing that it was the scariest thing he ever captured on video. Let's be the judge of that. In the video, the YouTuber says he captured a hag on his phone's camera. He seems to want to capture some more footage, but cars keep driving by, which interrupts a proper view of the hag-like face. The woman in the video says she's scared to turn because the face has been appearing on her side of the vehicle. For a while, they're sitting in the darkness, hoping to capture the image on camera. While they wait, their camera runs out of battery, but the image they've already captured does appear like a masked hag reflected in the window. What is this, an apparition? Does this woman even exist? Whatever the reality of this is, a strange reflective phenomenon caught on camera, or an old lady spirit, the result is chilling. Number 10, doorbell camera. Nothing scarier than live footage, especially when it's happening right outside your front door. Jeff Davis published this doorbell footage in January of 2019, writing, "After we put the kids in bed, we got a notification that someone was at our front door. The footage shows a man in a gray hoodie and jeans donning a white skeleton mask with black hair. Before walking up to the front door, a piece of paper at the ready. He covers the Ring doorbell with the paper, but the tape doesn't hold. As the paper slowly flips back open, the man is gone. The front entryway is completely empty. Only the darkness of night stands beyond." Davis asks if the YouTuber audience thinks it's just some kids being kids or someone wanting to enter the home. What do you think? I guess we'll never know for sure. But nevertheless, someone attempting to cover your surveillance camera is never a good sign. Number 9. Real life Chucky. This is what happens when your doll comes to life. Posted on the Ghosts subreddit by Redditor Enigma's Light 209, who writes, "Years ago my sister had a Dora doll. However, we never put batteries in it because at the time we couldn't afford a lot of stuff. My sister was singing and playing with the doll. Not noticing the doll turns its head to look at her. The clip is creepy enough to give you nightmares. The user's sister is in the bathroom, singing and playing at the sink. Her doll is perched beside her, motionless and staring off to the right. About 15 seconds in, the doll's head suddenly turns, looking directly at the camera and into our souls. Nothing more happens in the video, but the way the doll's head snaps around is reminiscent of a bad Child's Play-like scenario. My advice, destroy that doll immediately. Fire would probably be the best." Number 8, maggots. Have you ever wondered what it looks like when meat decomposes? First off, why are you wondering that? Second, you won't wonder any longer once you've seen this video. This unsettling time-lapse footage shows exactly that over the course of 7 days. It's deeply terrifying. A bit of science. When meat isn't refrigerated and exposed to air, maggots appear, but they aren't produced by the meat as was previously theorized. If the meat is exposed to air and a fly lays eggs in it, that's when you see the maggots. They're the larvae of flies, and female flies tend to lay eggs in meat so that their young have something to eat when they hatch. Pretty gross to watch, but also admittedly good fly parenting. Regardless, the amount and movement of the maggots in this video will make your stomach turn, so if you're eating a big slab of meat right now, sorry about that. Watching this is a good way to lose your appetite. Number 7.
Okay, I'm sorry, but now I definitely need to go get some water. Be right back. Yeah, that's a video that can give me a nightmare. Ooh.
And the rail walker. Strange behavior from a stranger at night is enough to make your spine tingle. This video, published by Mostava El Press in April of 2010, begins with some intense music and a vehicle stopped on the side of a highway at night. At first, you may not spot what the people in the vehicle are looking at, but once they zoom in, you can see a figure moving on the railing at the side of the road. The figure is unclear and indistinct at first. It's hard to tell if it's a human being or something else, but what's clear is it's scary enough in reality for the men in the vehicle to back away. Later, someone gets out of the vehicle to film the creature. As it turns out, the figure does appear to be a human being dressed in white with long legs, walking across the railing in slow, deliberate movements. When it comes nearer, the man cries out in Arabic and runs away as fast as he can. Number 6. Salting candles. What would you do if the downstairs lights of a supposedly empty building next door kept turning on and off? Redditor JC1 posted this video to r/ghosts, writing, "The model apartment next door to mine has a 10-minute timer on all the lights, so every time the front door is open, the lights automatically turn on. When I showed the video to the maintenance men, they said they got chills and had to go buy some salting candles." This video shows the lights switching on and off of their own accord. Well, not altogether unexplainable, it is unnerving. Some in the comments of this video suggested faulty wiring or a bad sensor. A union electrician says this is pretty common in model houses.
Abandoned? Really? There's pictures, there's beds, that is not an abandoned apartment. Someone's playing tricks on this guy.
As they're not built well, others get scared by something moving, which turns out to be a tree branch. But the question remains, what if someone or something is opening the front door? The maintenance men are right, it's time for some salting candles. Number 5. A Feto. Most of us have watched videos that return to us in our sleep. Imagine a robot child with deadened eyes. Would you want to be greeted with such a smile? TechCrunch calls a Feto the wild boy head robot of your nightmares. A comment on this video clip by YouTube user Ragnarok AT confirms that. Thank you for bringing my absolute scariest nightmare to life. I won't be sleeping for the next few days. Once this robot grins at you, you probably won't either. The idea was to give the robot human-like emotions, and that's what these researchers did, but for some reason the result is so uncanny it gives you the chills. A video of the Feto prototype was first posted in 2011. Back then it was even scarier than today's version.
That's less scarier than without the mask.
Version. Researchers have since added facial skin and hair, but that doesn't seem to remove the deadness from the robot's eyes. In fact, it likely makes the cyberhuman seem even more bizarre. Apart from the creepiness of the robot's facial expressions, blades and spikes jut out of its body, as though it's a machine meant to destroy you. The three researchers wrote of their continued progress with the robot, citing new methods to create more expressivity in the second-generation model of Alfedo. These findings, the researchers claim, will allow for deeper interactions with humans due to the broader range of robot emotions. While all of this is very technical, viewing the video clip will inspire an entirely visceral emotional reaction. And believe me, the movements of this robot child will not leave your nightmares soon. Number 4. The Disappearing Doll. Now you see.
Oh, man. I don't know how much longer I can go. So far, you know, I've watched, you know, ghost videos on this stream. You know, I've seen, you know, very creepy stuff. But yet the two things that have scared me the most were the maggots and that robot.
See it, now you don't. Published in December of 2017. This video begins with a man speaking Arabic. No translation or subtitles are included, so we can't tell you what he's talking about as he stands outside what appears to be a normal door with an elaborate gold door frame. Over a minute into the video, he opens the door to what appears to be a normal dining room. Speaking the whole while, he enters the room and shuts the door, giving a tour of the room, which is empty. He tries opening another door on one side of the room, but it's locked tight, so he enters further in what appears to be a living room. There are toys inside, a car with a doll in it, but nothing appears to be out of the ordinary. That is, until he turns to film the other side of the room and pans back to the car. No more doll. He doesn't seem to panic, and it's hard to tell if he even noticed. He continues to wander around the room. Well, nothing more disturbing appears to happen in the duration of the video. The man must have experienced something frightening towards the end. As fear is heard in his voice, his camera drops and he rushes out of there. What was happening in this room? I don't know if I want to know. Number 3. Abandoned farmhouse gone wrong. This creepy farmhouse will have you swearing off abandoned buildings for life. Published by .do's Urban Exploration in April of 2013. The uploader admits to being skeptical to the paranormal, but this incident made him consider opening up to the possibility. Da writes that the house sits about a half a kilometer from a road in Bobcage, Ontario. The house is isolated with just a barn and an outcrop of other buildings. It appears from a distance to be tightly boarded up, but a back door was wide open. He writes, now it is very possible all the environmental conditions were perfect for this experience. However, Wingman Jan happened to be with me on this explore, and we are in agreement. There was something more to this. He says the video doesn't really do the reality justice. The sounds were much more magnified, which he describes as like freight trains. He writes, there was the sound of someone else walking. There was the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor, and when exiting, it was like being followed out to the threshold of Inside and Out. Without further ado, let's take a look at the cryptic video. Even the approach to the house's exterior is a bit unnerving. The back door is under an overhanging, which our friends sneak beneath to catch a glimpse of a bunch of knickknacks and garbage littering the ground, including an old sewing machine. The back door is wide open, it's dark inside. They climb the steps to the kitchen area, also disheveled and covered with odds and ends. Once inside, they're stepping over the trash and other items on the floor, while scanning the rooms with a flashlight. They enter the living room. Something on a door across the room flies up. It appears to be blown by a breeze. The door then opens and slams shut, while our brave Da backs away. Instead of racing out of there, they get closer. The door keeps creaking open and slamming shut again.
Wow.
He finally enters the empty hallway. No one is there. He shines the flashlight upstairs, and just when you think he's going to explore that second level, he hurries the heck out of that house. Probably a smart idea. The house alone is unsettling. I can't imagine what being there in person must have felt like. Although Da knows some might call him a coward for being afraid, he insists that you had to be there to know what it truly felt like. On the contrary, most people believe in the comments of this video that Da was brave to stay in this obviously haunted house as long as he did. I'm one of them. Number 2, restaurant rage. We've all heard of rage on the road, but what happens when restaurant rage reaches the road? After watching this video, you won't ever diss an Albanian restaurant owner. When Spanish tourists visited a restaurant in southern Albania, apparently they didn't like the restaurant's service, and the owner didn't like that they didn't like it. That's when things grew super aggressive. How super? Just watch.
What's not putting
Venga.
Go. Filmuevo.
The tourists captured the owner's reaction on camera, which involved climbing onto the hood of their vehicle. Now those are some serious rage issues. The owner, however, claims that the tourists tried to skip out on the bill, but the Albanian government seems to be siding with the tourists, as officials have since apologized for their treatment. Not long after, the restaurant was torn down, or rather completely bulldozed. According to reports, after the video went viral, the owner was investigated, and the findings revealed that the owner had not paid taxes and had built his restaurant without a legal permit. The owner was charged for his actions as well. What a nightmare. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. Number 1, Goliath. Arachnophobes beware. This video is straight out of Ron Weasley's Nightmares, published by Exotic Slayer in October of 2018. Footage of this spider will remind you why so many people fear them. The Goliath bird eater is the world's largest spider by mass and size. Goliath calls South America home, and its leg span is second only to the giant huntsman spider. Goliath is called a bird eater for a reason. A copper engraving made by Maria Sibylla Marian in the 18th century depicts the giant spider chowing down on a hummingbird. But don't worry, birds aren't often the spider's prey. Rather, he prefers worms, amphibians, insects, and other arachnopods. Although Goliath has been known to eat things as large as rodents, lizards, and snakes. Imagine running into this spider in your jungle lair. It's what nightmares are made of. Thanks for checking out this video. Be
Alright. On that note, guys, I think I need a bit of a break. That last one, whew, out there. But I'm back in a little bit to continue with the stream because I want to get this done. I want to get these last 3 done. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back in a little while.